Family, welcome back to the channel. If you are new to this channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe and the bell and the like. Leave a comment too. All right, so look, family. We're about to jump into a couple articles. We're not going to read them all through, but I'm gonna just give you the synopsis of what I am basically witnessing. In the states, and when we look at this, basically this whole battle going down in Ukraine, it must be understood that a lot of these actions are affecting, I think the life that people live in the States. This is why we're seeing higher gas prices. This is why we're seeing higher food prices, because you basically, in any war, you're always going to have a coalition of, I guess they would call it like, the good guys, bad guys. But ultimately, however you want to look at it is your perspective. So we're going to go ahead and start jumping into these articles, and then I'm going to start breaking this down. We're going to just mainly look at the headline. So as we have here, and I will say, if you want to review the articles in great detail, I will have the links in the section below. So starting here, it says Biden agrees to provide Ukraine with longer range missiles. And I'm going to be completely honest, like, this is not going to change anything about what's going on in Ukraine. I'm going to tell you why it's not going to change anything. If Ukraine couldn't win the battle with shorter range missiles, what is longer range missiles going to do? Now, if y'all don't know, Russia literally has, and I'm not trying to sit here and be the guy who talks about the good things about Russia, as if that's a bad thing. But to be completely honest, they do have one of the most powerful missile defense systems probably in the world. I forgot what it's exactly called. I want to say the Su 400. I can't even remember. Let's just go Google it so I can stay accurate. Russian missile defense system. What is it called? The S-400. And they already said that they're building out the S-500. We got a question right here. Can an S-500 stop a hypersonic missile? Is designed for intercepting and destroying intercontinental ballistic missiles, as well as hypersonic cruise missiles and aircraft. So they're already developing a system that is literally going to be able to stop hypersonic missiles. And I believe the U.S. just started working on hypersonic missiles. I mean, I say that because it's unfortunate. Of course, I want my country that I live in to succeed in all that they do, but realistically, from what I'm seeing, this betrayal has been going on for quite a while. It's been basically, I want to say, since Obama got in office. I feel like a lot of the countries that America is trying to do business with, they've basically just been like, listen, man, we're not going to put our country at the whim of the U.S. when, truthfully, we're not in a real strong position to even defend ourselves in a war. Like, just speaking practically, if you don't know, one of the biggest things in our military is, a lot of our soldiers, they're just not happy. And I'm just being honest. I've seen videos of people in the military. There's issues with suicide, overdose deaths, which, don't get me wrong, I think a lot of countries have those issues, but we really shouldn't have those issues that bad when you think of us being a world power. We should have the resources for people to love being in the military. And then obviously after they tried to throw out the jab and stuff in the military, what happened? A bunch of people wanted to leave the military. Like, why would they want to stay in the military when you're trying to force things upon them? So we're not necessarily in the strongest position to even be fighting any wars, and definitely not in a good position to be giving other countries. We shouldn't be giving them $1, let alone billions of dollars and missile systems that, quite honestly, are not going to protect that country. They're just not. If Russia wanted to go into Ukraine and absolutely just tear that thing apart and take over Ukraine, if you don't think that they can do that, I just don't know what to tell you. Like, now let's get into some more of this. Why do I say that America's been betrayed? Because, one of our biggest allies, they say, is Turkey, and what is it saying? Turkey gets discount on Ukrainian grain. Now, why is Turkey getting a discount on Ukrainian grain? Because If you don't know, Turkey is one of the few countries that I think that Russia is even allowing the sale of their S-400 system to. So you got to realize that Turkey is buying Russian defense systems. They're buying Russian missile systems. They're buying Russian food that's coming from Russia. And most likely they're buying Russian gas. So be conscious of the fact that Turkey is supposed to be our ally in the States. And what are they doing? Hey, if we can get a discount upon this grain right now, if y'all don't know, inflation in Turkey has gone insane. Let's get into this. Turkey inflation. Like it went insane. Let's get into this. Turkish inflation on downward trend. Keep lowering interest rates to fight inflation. So look at this. Turkey's inflation for the month of May rose by an eye-watering 73.5% year on year. So imagine that. If you spent $100 on something, now you're spending $173.50. And you wonder why they're trying to cut deals for a discount. Food around the whole world is about to get more expensive. This is why it's more expensive in the States and it's going to get more expensive around the whole world, because when wars happen, what do warring countries do? They stockpile resources, whether that's money, whether that's gold, whether that's food, soldiers, whatever the case may be. They are going to start stockpiling resources. So at this point in our relationship with Turkey, I'm pretty sure Turkey, they've moved on at this point. I mean, they're buying the S-400 system, they're getting the Ukrainian grain, and that's what Russia is really doing. It's taking over the port system of Ukraine, so they basically cannot be exporting all these goods from Ukraine, because Ukraine is what I would call a highway for exports, especially to the U.S. and our European allies. And at this point, when you have Germany basically saying, yeah, we're just going to go ahead and let Nord Stream go through and we're going to get this Russian gas. When you have Turkey saying, yeah, we want that discount on that Ukrainian grain. I don't care what y'all say. We got inflation over here by 70-some%. They're not going to care about allies, because I mean, I wouldn't say that the world is headed towards a world war. Is just, you got to be conscious of what's going on in this world, man. And it's definitely not looking good for America and its allies. And I wish I could say something different, but, I think after this whole thing happened, with the new president, and America is just, I don't know what to say. Like, trust me. Do I want to be the first person that says, man, we live in a country that's based on justice, that's based on morality, that's based on winning, that's based on all good things? I will be the first to say that if it was true. But the honest truth is, we've allowed just way too much wickedness in this country. And, ironically, Russia being one of the, if you don't know, Russia is like probably one of the few countries that the Renaissance never made it to. And when we talk about the Renaissance, and I don't mean Renaissance like they never like grew and became a great country, but when I say Renaissance, like they're one of the few really Christian-led countries, or at least God-led countries in the world. They still have basically their own pope. And, you have the Catholicism telling you, oh yeah, we're giving it to Mary and to the earth worship. And Russia's like, come on, man. Like, it's just getting crazy in this world. So again, Russia claims military success. This was today. Yeah. And it says the Donbass town where a wooden monastery was torched during fighting has been liberated from Ukraine. In Russia, the Russian military, one thing that I've noticed, one of the biggest differences between the Russian military and the U.S. military is the U.S. military is always changing out people for certain roles. And not that that's a bad thing, but one thing I've noticed about the Russian military is they've always kept like the same people in the same place for long extended periods of time. And I think that's very smart, because you want to have, you gotta look at people as it says, you gotta judge a tree by its fruits, man. And when you have people that are succeeding, and I gotta be honest, when was the last time we won a war, man? When was the last time we won a war? You know what I'm saying? Like, we left Afghanistan and Afghanistan didn't even become the 51st country. Like, or I'm sorry, the 51st state. You know what I'm saying? Like, it didn't even become like, I just don't get it at this point. Like, we're fighting wars where we're not even winning any land. We're not winning any resources. I mean, and I'm here to be honest with y'all, man. This is, you want the real raw news, man. This is what this channel is all about. I'm not trying to do this to raise any eyebrows or turn any heads, but I'm just being honest, man. When was the last time America won a war? Russia's claiming military success in Ukraine. And if you don't think that they're going to take over all of Ukraine and just bring it back to Russia like they did with what was this island called? I forgot what the island called. Russian island. Russia takes Ukraine island. I forgot what this Rush. What was this? Oh, it's not Snake Island. What was it, man? They just did this like a couple. Oh, was it Odessa? Russia takes land near. Let's rock Ukraine. Crimea. That's what it was. Crimea, man. So you have this, they took over Crimea, I don't even think 4 years ago. And now they're going back for all of Ukraine. And again, I'm not saying that they're going to just take over Ukraine. I'm just saying that, when we look at our allies are not going to fight no war against Russia when they're supplying them gas and they're supplying them food and they're trying to get it to them at a discounted rate. I just don't see it. I don't see it. If there was a war to break out, I would see our allies. I'm just being honest. I don't see no loyalty over here, none. And I mean, we look at our leadership, man. We look at the people in charge, and it's just like, what are they really allying with at this point? What is there to ally with? If we can't provide them food and grain, you have Russia trying to be the world leader in organic foods and trying to be the #1 exporter of grain. And in the States, what do you have? You got food distribution storage plants burning down. What sense does that make? What are they going to ally with when we have no food to give them? And I'm just speaking practically, man. You could take it however you want. So let's get into this. So same day, right? Major U.S.-led summit dubbed a failure. Venezuela's leader offers a more inclusive meeting of the Americas instead. America's the world leader, and it says what? Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro has praised his Mexican counterpart, Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador, for skipping the ongoing U.S.-led Summit of the Americas. You know what I'm saying? Like, Mexico's not even going to the Summit of the Americas. Mexico's not even showing up. I mean, what? Come on. Maduro, who was not invited to the event in Los Angeles, has suggested a more inclusive gathering with U.S. President Joe Biden as a guest. Yeah. So, I mean, Mexico's not even showing up to our world events. But Turkey's over here cutting backroom deals for some Ukrainian grain. We got the Nord Stream going live up in Germany. Russia's talking about military success, and on the same day they report that major U.S.-led summit dubbed a failure. And this is where it gets crazy. Netflix BlackRock CEOs among those newly sanctioned by Russia. And if y'all don't know, like, Russia literally sanctioned a bunch of people in America. Bosses, government officials are sanctioned by Moscow after a raft of economic measures taken against officials and oligarchs by the West. A handful of prominent American CEOs, including BlackRock Inc.'s Larry Fink and the bosses at Delta Airlines Incorporated, Netflix Inc., Universal Pictures, have landed on a fresh list of sanctions Russia has imposed in retaliation for blistering economic restrictions. So, I mean, this is, this is the America we live in, man. World leaders aren't showing up to our events. Turkey, who's supposed to be like our biggest ally in the Middle East, what are they doing? Cutting backroom deals. They hungry too. They getting inflation too. And in the midst of all this, this is like, This is like, and I have to use this analogy because this is the only way I can put it. This is literally like watching a gang war down the street, right? And there's 10 dudes fighting 100 dudes. And that doesn't necessarily mean that the 10 guys are going to lose, right? But the 100 dudes have their project surrounded. They have their, they're not even really trying to hurt these other 10 dudes. They're trying to like just be like, listen, man, we already got y'all surrounded. There's not really much you can do. We got the streets blocked up. We just kind of just want y'all to leave with your life at this point. This is like trying to run down the street and give those guys more weaponry. It just doesn't make any sense. Well, what are they going to do with more weapons? So again, man, it's, you know, I say this because I want America to be a great country. I want it to be, as they say, make America great again. That has to mean that it's, you know, some of it's from a fallen glory. You can't make something great again if it's still great, and that's just, it's common sense. So I don't know where we're at. I'm gonna continue to try to get y'all this news. This was kind of like a big report because this was a couple articles. I've been wanting to get this just article out, these articles out and these messages out, because this is just what I'm seeing in Ukraine. I think Ukraine is going to fall to Russia. I think that Russia is going to take over Ukraine, and I don't think that they're playing around like at all. I would not be surprised if China tries to take over Taiwan. And I think just recently, what did Russia say about Taiwan? Right? Russia, Taiwan. What did they just recently say? I just saw a recent what did they say? Russia says Taiwan part of China. Look at that. Russia's position on Taiwan as integral part of China remains. This was 4 days ago. Russia's position on Taiwan as integral part of China remains unchanged. I'm telling y'all, don't be surprised. You see what they're doing in Ukraine. Don't be surprised if China goes for Taiwan. And I mean, you know, this is where we're at in the world. So, I mean, I do just want to say this, man. If you like this video, please like, share, and comment, subscribe on all my channels. But nonetheless, this one for sure. I'll be trying to knock out more news reports when I can. I do just want to thank everyone for joining me here on this channel. I do love all of my subscribers and my viewers, and I thank y'all for being here. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. Y'all have an amazing day and take care, fam.